Good morning. My name is Joanne Long, and I welcome you all on behalf of our entire spiritual community here at Unity of Ocala. Please join me for our opening prayer. Dear Mother, Father, God, help us to see the world through your eyes without dividing lines, to see just land and water, mountains, trees, and skies. Help us to lay aside our class and skin, our background and race, to know our shared humanity, to see a brother or a sister in every face. Help us to wear forgiveness, to lay down our pride and pain, to seek first to understand. Lord, may peace and reconciliation reign. Help us to feel your compassion so that we can freely forgive. May we weave new threads of grace and cause seeds of hope to live. Help us to play our own small part with acts of kindness and of care. May we arise as your children and seek out what is just and fair. Cause us to make new bonds of trust with neighbors near and far, and so to fashion a world where peace comes to earth in this hour. Amen. And we are going to have a music video, one of my favorites by the Young Rascals, A Beautiful Morning.
It's a beautiful morning. I think I'll go outside for a while and just smile. Just taking some clean, fresh air. Oh, no sense in staying inside. If the weather's fine and you got the time, it's your chance to wake up and plan another brand new day. Either way, it's a beautiful morning. Each bird keeps singing his own song. So long, I've got to be on my way now. No fun just hanging around. I got to cover ground, you couldn't keep me down. It just ain't no good if the sun shines and you're still inside. Still inside. Still inside. We'll be children with robins and flowers. Sunshine caresses each new waking hour. Seems to me that people keep seeing more and more each day. Gotta say, lead the way. It's okay. Gotta say, it's okay. Alright. Lead the way.
I noticed that they dropped the Young and they're just Rascals, because that song was popular in the 60s when I was young. Oh, together we'll do Unity's foundational principle. Together. There is only one power, one presence, active in the universe and in my life, God, the good, omnipotent. And when we live this principle together, a thriving spiritual community, here to inspire one another to realize God's love. Centered in the Spirit of God, we seek peace, love, and abundance. in an awakening world. And before we have the daily word, which is a blessing for fathers, the flowers today are in honor of all fathers, donated by Martha Macklin Reynolds. Thank you, Martha. Okay, Sunday, June 18th, 2023, Blessing for Fathers. I bless my father and the men who have shown me fatherly kindness. Today I bless and give heartfelt thanks to my father and the men who were fatherly figures to me. Their protecting presence, wise guidance, and caring instructions have helped make me the person I am today. I bless my father and those who shared a father's love and care with prayers of appreciation for my memories throughout all the seasons of my life. Through good times and bad, I see God expressing through my father and the men who have shown me fatherly love. I bless them with prayers of gratitude, affirming they know the love and care of God as they have shown it so generously and faithfully to me. And the scripture is from Ephesians chapter 6, verse 4. And fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. And before Reverend Lori has her meditation, we have special music provided by Butch R. Baker. It is a song, original song he composed called Legions of Angels. And if you'll notice out in the entryway, we have a lovely print of a legion of angels that are with us here at Unity of Ocala all the time.
Sorry about the band, they're in the box. If they misbehave, I'll just do it acoustically. Well, let's give it a try. Maybe not. And she opened the door to the legions of angels, cast away all doubt and fear. Imagine the power of the people together to manifest love to appear. Time was a day when the fears gripped the nation. Peace was a thought fading fast. There were powers of men taking down aspirations as more darkness fell from the past. Each morning it seemed to be dawning more darkness. The light was just a fading away. And the guards of our love stood in all exile, for people lost hope every day. But she stood among many on a hilltop, they said, the hilltop where she often prayed. And she asked for the help of the legions of heaven, and they heard every word she had to say. And she opened the doors to the legions of angels, cast away all doubt and fear, banishing all the doubting of fear, and manifest love to appear. And they opened the doors to the legions of angels, banishing all doubt and fear. Imagine the power of the people together to manifest love. Now it's here.
Indeed. I know. That was so beautiful. Thank you. That was such a treat. He wrote that. What an artist. Thank you. And you know, that was inspired by some amazing words that our own Myrtle Fillmore, Tanya, spoke about during one of our discussions. When things around us seem so bleak and so hard, she said, there's a legion of angels, but you have to open the door to them. There's a legion of angels. That was so powerful. It inspired a song. That just fills me with such great hope. So thank you for that. And thank you so much for putting music to that conversation. Wow. So let's take that song and message in. So we have to open the door. We have to let them in. So I invite you to get very comfortable as we prepare for a time of quiet, of going within, of exploring the inner canvas, become deeper connected to our source. Take a few deep breaths to clear out the cobwebs, to get the blood flowing. Take anything off of your lap that might distract you, anything off of your mind or your heart that's been weighing on you. This is your time with God. As you continue to relax deeper and deeper, I invite you to travel deep within, to the core of your being. The more familiar we become with this inner space, the more intimate our dialogue with God becomes, the more clear it becomes. Our guidance is within us. We call to us that which we need. Through these thoughts and prayers that we hold in our mind, in our heart, through these actions that we do and these feelings that we have. Are you opening the door to your legion of angels, of help, of guidance? Settle into this stillness. As you continue a discipline, a regular practice of meditation, you'll notice a few things. Your body almost immediately becomes relaxed. Your muscles love a time of stillness. Your organs love a time of replenishing. It is a natural state. Your mind doesn't want to settle as easily, but it will. Just breathe in this space of comfort, of peace. As you focus inward, you'll be able to feel the inside of your body more easily. You'll be able to detect the areas that need attention. From within, your guidance comes, your strength. So breathe in this space. When you become this still, this quiet, this open to receive, you are opening a door to another realm, another perspective. The more frequently you allow yourself to become still and quiet, the more you will experience what is being drawn to you. Breathe. God will speak with you here in this space. You may feel a sensation in your body. You may feel a flow, a glow, a light, an energy. You may get pictures inside. It is a dialogue, very sacred and intimate to you. You are unique. You are God's own. And God speaks to you in a language you will understand as you give yourself more time in the quiet and open. Imagine yourself as a great chalice that is being filled and refilled, replenished and restored constantly. So allow that knowing to just gush through you in whatever form Spirit has. As you allow yourself to feel this light coming through you, you'll become comfortable with it. You'll be able to work with it, that energy, that light. When you feel that flow and that light, you can actually extend it beyond you to the angels around you. Those angels beside you, in front of you, behind you, around you. It's that beautiful energy of love, of light, of harmony, of balance. Just feel that peace. Breathe. Where two or more are gathered, this energy is increased in strength and in power and in speed. It travels from you, joining the energy of those around you, creating this flow of life, of God's love. The more open you are, the more it will flow. You can feel it filling up this room. It is an eternal source. Allow that to continue to flow throughout this neighborhood, throughout this community. Just feel the flow through you and out from you and around you. It is drawn to others right now in this same space, connecting like a matrix around the globe. Others right now in churches and synagogues, around circles, with their families, feeling that love that is flowing. We can be a constant conduit for God's love, for that energy, knowing that it is already blending with the legions of angels around the globe. It is growing in strength and in power in your inner imagination and your inner feelings, in your heart. Feel the enormous love. Feel the power and strength of that love, of that compassion, of that joy, of that peace, of that great hope. It is multiplied millions of times around, surrounding Mother Earth with a vibrant light and energy that releases the old, lets go of that which no longer serves, heals that which needs healed, reveals that which needs revealed. And together with other lights, we lift this beautiful world. We hold her beautiful, beautiful landscapes, to the depths of her ocean, to the tops of her mountains. We embrace her, all the creatures. This love spreads easily around. It is buoyant, it is powerful. And in the quiet of this space of grace, in the quiet, feel this energy, contribute to it, enjoy it, embrace it, be in awe of it in the quiet. that was lovely. Your power in here is so strong. That's why I like to use it on Sundays, to spread it out there, because we need it out there, right? Happy Father's Day to all of you fathers, to all of you who have been a parental figure, a father figure in another's life, to all of our fathers around the globe. What a nice day to honor them, their journey. And on Mother's Day, I think Unity churches maybe in general spend a little more time on the feminine energy, or maybe it's just me, the feminine energy than the masculine energy. I don't know if that's given its due credit always, but that's an important facet. That's an important part of God, that masculine energy, that essence, that strength in God, which is in us, equally as important as the feminine. And the feminine is the soul, the receiver, the receptor, that which draws to and attracts to it, the birther. But on its own, that feminine attribute would sink into inertia, because it's not the active part of that wholeness and that balance of God. Therein comes the masculine which carries that forth in whatever form, in all of our earthly realms, consciousness, physical, mental, emotional. That strength and that movement carries that forth. But we often attribute masculinity to ego. It is in close context with it, sometimes driven by it. Sometimes it is, the ego is the master and not the passenger. And that's kind of what we're experiencing, I think. It's not a man and woman thing. It's in all of us. And I think in this day and age of social media and technology, it's very easy to slip into the ego and show that masculine side more brutally than it would be in balance and harmony with the feminine. Sometimes we can hide behind a keyboard and fire out rude things just because it's easy, because your face isn't there. Sometimes things that you might say in social media context, you would never walk up to someone and say. But that's part of that masculine energy that is hiding behind the ego and leading with the ego. But there's so much more to this power that I think sometimes we overlook. It is such a beautiful aspect of us. And I just flipped the TV to the end of a documentary. I wish I would have seen the whole thing. I didn't have time to follow through and see who it was. But the person being interviewed was this very elegant, distinguished gentleman, clearly highly intellectual. He just had this statesman's quality. You know, don't you love being around gentlemen like that? They just have it all together. Especially if you had a really bad day, you just kind of want to go up next to somebody that's got it all together. They're carrying it very well. They're very confident and in control. And he didn't have the physique of a boxer. He didn't look the part of a boxer, but he clearly knew the sport very, very well. And he was talking about it in a way that I hadn't thought about before. I've never been a boxing fan. My husband was a big boxing fan. I just thought it was just a ridiculous sport that didn't serve a purpose. But I hadn't looked at it in this way. And he said that a true sportsman, a true boxer, one that honors the sport and takes it internally, has more discipline than possibly anybody on the planet. And I hadn't considered that. And he said, a true sportsman boxer walks it every day. Not the blows, not the action in the ring. They have to be incredibly in control, incredibly disciplined, incredibly measured. And I started thinking about that. He was going way beyond a sport here. So not only do they have to train constantly, of course, for their physical body to have the stamina and the strength, but it is not about that. It is equally, if not more, about the mind and the emotional state and the power of the essence of the man. That blew me away. I had never considered that. The true sportsman boxer, he said, will lead a life of discipline. Yes, he contains within him the power and the strength and the know-how and the experience and the tools, but he would never go that far. Because with this type of discipline comes an accountability for who you are, for what you do in life, for the choices you make. And it occurred to me that is the godly side of masculinity. That's it. That's what Charles Fillmore is talking about when he talks about that masculine quality balanced with the feminine. Is that feminine aspect is that Eve that was brought into the garden. Eve is the feminine aspect to Adam that has the ability to see beauty, to see loveliness, to have extraordinary compassion. But with that, there has to be strength and power, disciplined and measured, to create a life, to go forward, to create cities, to create communities that are responsible and measured and disciplined. I didn't think I'd get that from a boxing fan. But I thought that's so true of us. And when we recognize how important it is for us that our students of Unity and other spiritual organizations here to make an intentional purpose and betterment on the planet and join with others who are making that difference and creating a world that works for everyone, it's so important to understand these facets of God that are in us. And when we bring them into harmony, the extraordinary things we can accomplish. And I thought about that just since listening to him. I thought about how measured am I? How disciplined am I in my everyday talking, thinking, replying? Am I working out to make sure I have a godly presence in the conversations I'm holding, in the way I am reacting, in the things I'm thinking about? Because what happens when we begin to work these principles and understand our power, and as it raises us to new levels of understanding and consciousness, we're opening the door to these legions of angels that we didn't even know we had access to, right? You told us about it because you have access to them because you've led a disciplined life. That's a beautiful example of what we have in us that flings open those doors. When we say yes, a couple of things happen when we say, I'm ready, God, here I am, use me. Buckle up. Because in a gym, when the light weights get easy, and your trainer, well, I don't have a trainer, but if I did, he'd throw me a heavier weight. That's what God does. So you say, I'm on purpose, I'm intention, I'm balanced, I got my masculine and my feminine going, I got all the powers working. Bam. Where did that come from? I'm doing so good, God. I'm working these principles. Why did you hit me in the face with that? Buckle up. Oh. Because now that heavier weight is nothing. I got this. You just opened the door to the legions of angels. You just opened the door to the legions of angels. So that's our work this week. Am I opening the door? And if I am, what am I letting in? What am I drawing to me? How am I responding? What am I thinking? How are my conversations? As I respond to this comment or this person or this phone call, those 3 questions, is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Just starting there, you will begin to control that power within you, that masculinity, and shift it from the ego side into the soul side. Just those three questions that you are about to ask or contribute to this conversation. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? This weekend is Juneteenth. You've all heard about that, right? It's a very important time in history. Thank you, President Biden, for making it a national holiday, a federal holiday 2 years ago. It is a time of honoring, remembering, embracing, and supporting those in our communities whose ancestors were forced to come to this country. But thank God they did, not in the way that they did, but they have certainly helped our evolution in this country for their contributions. Where would we be without the African community in this country? I mean, I just thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I think about you especially on this weekend. And I'm so glad it's getting the attention that it is. And I just want to make note of its importance, because back then, it took some really powerful men using their godlike masculinity and not their ego-driven masculinity to make this happen. It really did, men and women, but particularly men, because they were in charge of making it happen. And this was June 19th, 1865, and it was months after the Civil War had ended. 2 years after President Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation, 2 years after. They were still dealing with this in the South, as we know. Union troops arrived in Galveston, Texas, to free 250,000 people that were still being held in bondage. 250,000 people 2 years after. Major General Gordon Granger and his troops signaled that the federal government would not relent until the last enslaved people in America were freed. This was his mission. This was his mission. Abolitionists made it their mission to deliver his promise. We have more to do, obviously, but I just hope that we all take a moment this weekend and tomorrow to light a candle and to just go into that sacred space and honor the journey of these beautiful people and what they have contributed and done. So just take a moment and honor that. Enlarge your circle as well. And I want to leave our talk with this. I found this, I think, just appropriate message from Shalon Harkin. It's called Heart Warriors, Legions of Angels, I'm calling them. Here's to the heart warriors who awkwardly, anxiously, timidly, but courageously do what they can to open that beating fistful of God every day and share its beauty. Here's to those who refuse to stop bringing forth the balm of their precious light to the thirsty lips of the world. Here's to those who believe our pride can be pulverized into tenderness if we keep opening to honesty, and to those who keep working to make diamonds from that coal. Here's to those who never stop believing this world can be so much more than it is, who know there is a rose inside of this bud, and to those who never stop using their lives to water it. Let's water those buds. And now we get to hear from you again. Yay!
Wow, that's really powerful. And the song that I'm going to do, I just want to give you a little heads up here. Without the African American influences, this artist would not have risen to the height that he did.
Mm.
That's without a doubt. Just hope the band cooperates. And my fingers. Band's not cooperating. We gotta speed them up a little bit, okay? Try that again. without the band. How's that? Okay. And let's do it with the lyric sheets up in front of me. But you all know the lyrics, but I tell you, I get nervous up here and I forget them. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possession. I wonder if you can. There's no need for greed or hunger. It's the brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer. I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Ushers, come forward, please. Let's bless our tithes and offerings. Divine love flowing in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am grateful. bless all of the prayers that have been placed in our prayer box. Where two or more are gathered in my name, there I am among them. These prayers will be honored and prayed over here locally, and then sent on to Unity Village, where they will be prayed over for 30 days, 24/7. And we are doing a little bit of a different procedure. The chaplain of the day, which I am not certain who that is, possibly Shirley. Shirley will be available up front to pray with you or for you after the service, and then when all of everyone who's desirous to put a slip in here has done so, we will pray over it back here in the sacred space. Shirley and any other prayer chaplains that are available. Okay, and I think we have children, no children today. Okay, just us children. Well, we'll bless the child within. We love you. We appreciate you. We see you loved, guided, and protected. And we empower you to do great things. Okay, announcements. Do we have any first-time visitors, first of all? If you are a first-time visitor, if you don't mind, raise your hand and we have a gift packet for you. Any first-time visitors? No? Okay. Will there be conversations and coffee? Conversations and coffee today at 11:15. Those are always interesting and fun. Wednesday class will continue this week from 12:30 until 2 p.m. The book club was originally scheduled to be gathering next Sunday, which is the last Sunday in June, but our facilitator for the month, Mary Lou, will be unavailable. So we are putting it forward a week. It will be the first Sunday in July, which would be the 2nd, July 2nd. And the title is, Mary Lou, would you speak? Of Love, yeah. Don Miguel Ruiz, here, okay. Are there any other announcements at this time? Okay. Well, we shall all close with the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is.
to worry